Greetings, everyone. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you are doing well right now. My name is Takevius Atkinson, and I have the opportunity and privilege to introduce to the world Mrs. Alicia Green Hines. She is the CEO and founder of FASHA. FASHA is an acronym for Always Supporting Him and Her Authentically. She is a certified life coach specializing in mindset development, relationship coaching, and much more. For years, she has guided people on a journey to renew their mindset and rediscover the purpose and direction meant for their lives. As a certified coach, life coach, with in depth training in relationship dynamics, mindset development, and goal setting, she definitely looks forward to supporting one's personal and professional growth through coaching. With over 30 years of experience as a military spouse, she brings a deep understanding of resilience, adaptability, and service oriented living, which has given her a unique perspective on navigating change. She is a member of the International Association of Professional Life Coaches and is committed to ongoing professional development. So I introduce to the world Miss Alicia Green Hines. Hey, Alicia.
Hey, that was awesome. You know what? I should have told you. I know I say Green. That is my maiden name, but actually my full name is Alicia Marie Hines. So I forgot to tell you that, but that's fine. My daddy will be happy that you said Green. But anyway, thank you so much for that. That was so awesome. Atkinson, aka DJ,
Yes.
so I call you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't want to be remiss. I want to also, that was such a great introduction. I'm like, who is this person that he is introducing? But I want to say that who I am going to introduce you. You are currently pursuing your PhD in leadership studies, which is an awesome career path. And you received your bachelor's degree of social work from the illustrious HBCU, North Carolina A&T State University.
Aggie Pride.
Yeah, Aggie Pride. And then you got your Master of Social Work from one of the top 10 schools in the nation, and that is HBCU, Howard University. Woo-hoo. Wonderful, wonderful. I mean, that's just amazing. And then after that, you pursued your North Carolina clinical social work license and you passed that thing in 2011. And
Yes.
you're just moving on to bigger and better things in the work field, your professional abilities, all the professional promotions that you're going to receive with this PhD coming up soon. Yeah, more money. And then, of course, you are a part of the Phi Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity in North Carolina, and you received that in 2011, and you are an active member
Yes, indeed.
of that. So let's just give you a quiet round of applause, woohoo, for all that. I mean, that's look, and you're like I said, you're still 25. That's incredible.
I'll take
How did you accomplish all that by 25 years old?
don't feel that way sometimes, but I'll take that.
Yeah, I know. Amazing. All right. So I so appreciate you being here today. And so the interviewing is it's on you. You're going to interview me today. So
I do have some questions I want to ask you, because
sure.
I think it's vitally important that people get to know who you are, what you do, and what you're hoping and planning to provide to the world. Because obviously you have so much to give. You have lots of talents and gifts, and I do believe that people are going to benefit greatly from what you're going to provide with your platform that you're getting ready to launch. So I'm curious to know, as I was given the introduction, I did give the acronym for your
Right.
entity, FASHA. So
Yeah.
maybe some background information you can share about that, what it
Yeah.
also what it means, but kind of what led you to name it as such.
Right. It's amazing. Okay. So out of the mouths of babes. Okay. So this name Fasha was given to me by a 1-year-old.
Wow.
A 1-year-old, and I say that because I used to her mother is my coworker, and we're friends, and so we talk a little chit-chat after work, and so she would always see me, like FaceTime, she would see me, and she would say, "Fasha," and her mom would say, "Say hi to TT Leisha," and she would always say, "Fasha." And so it was funny and cute at first. And then one day it started to wear on me. The
Hmm.
word FASHA started to wear on me. I was like, it started to grow. I don't say wear on me. It started to grow on me. So I was like, you know what? I kind of like it now. I'll accept her calling me FASHA. It's cute, whatever. And then one evening, one night, one morning, went to bed. Once I received her calling me that, went to bed, and I had a dream. And
Mm,
in this dream, I had a flash of the word fascia. I saw it written out, fascia, and it had a black screen in the background, and the letters were written in like purple, magenta, like. And I thought, wow. I said, that's got to mean something. So I was like, what does that mean? So I said, God, I don't know what the color purple means. So I went and typed in, what does the color purple mean? And the color purple meant it was a this color for women, the color for women. And I thought, and I was at the time I was taking a course in it's a life coach course, but it's called Women's Support Specialist, basically talking about women's health and perimenopause, all those things,
right.
geared towards women. So I'm like, wow, she's calling me Fasha. I had the dream about the color, which is why you see the purple,
Mm-hmm.
and then I saw the name, which is what how it's written is how I saw it. And so I was just amazed when I saw that the purple meant the color of women. I was just amazed. So, like I said, it grew on me. I decided to then look up what fascia meant. Like what does fascia mean? Let's just continue to, go through this
Laura.
color, yeah, explore. And fascia in certain cultures, it meant leadership, and this is Arabic. Leadership, bravery, and beauty.
Wow.
Yes, it was amazing. And then so it's a name, obviously, it's a feminine name. It's not a popular name, but the connotation behind the name is that, mothers would name their child that. It's like an honor to name their child that because it exemplifies elegance, strength, and a commanding presence.
Wow.
I mean, I
Wow.
thought that's amazing. And I literally found out that and I'm like, wow, I one of my segments on my life coaching is going to be command the room and let your presence demand an explanation. So when I saw that the meaning meant commanding presence, I'm like, I'm in the right vein. I'm on the right track. So it was just amazing that and you know what? Once I received it, once I accepted that this name and it grew on me, do you know she never calls me that again?
Really?
She's 2 years old, never calls me that again. She calls me TT Leisha now.
Well, I mean, that at the end of the day, that's always going to be a story that you can go back and tell her that she started it.
Yeah.
Said earlier, out of the mouths of babes.
Yeah.
Who knew that a 1 year old would bring you
Yeah.
to where you are right now?
Yeah.
I just think that's
Her mother she was like, "Wow, you made a whole business off of the word fascia." Now the acronym to fascia for always supporting him and her. Originally it was just her,
hmm
but because I told you my plans for fascia, and you
yeah.
can't see it now, but in the word fascia there's a crown, a green crown over the H. So that green crown over the H where I'm focusing on him and her,
Mhm.
that means hope and just growth. So that's why the in my logo there's a green crown in the logo, but that's what it means. And it's just amazing. So the for always supporting him and her authentically, just I was asking everybody, help me come up with some names. And one day I was exercising and that came to me. I'm like, that's perfect. I like it. I love it. I went with it. So
And I
yeah.
love and
Yeah.
look at where we are now. So that's
Yes.
I appreciate sharing that as well to kind of give
Yes.
people some background. And
Right.
yeah, so I'll go ahead and ask you some other questions. My first question to you is, what inspired you to become a life coach? What inspired you to bring you to a point where you know what this is something I want to do, to be a life coach for people.
Right. That's a good question. So I remember probably being anywhere between 10 and 12 years old. I always said I wanted to be a teacher,
Hmm.
and I wanted to be a school counselor. I do not know why I thought that. I didn't have any trouble in school, but I don't know, it's just a thing I always wanted to do. But as I got older, I began to notice things and notice, like, in my friends group, they would always come to me for advice, for support, for whatever. And so then, growing up in the church, I always had a heart to serve. Always had a heart to serve. I even would say that because I'm in the HR profession, and I always would say, when they would ask me about myself, I'd always say I have a heart to serve, because that I do. I have a heart to serve. It has been evident throughout my life, and so that's what led me to be not just put it on the level that it is now, but if I open it up to be a profession, a platform, a professional platform, then I can open it up to more people. So that's why I thought, yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. And I remember you saying just a while ago that you wanted to be a counselor or a teacher. And one thing that I've come to recognize is being, whether it's a life coach or a counselor or a social worker. I've also been a therapist as well in my career, and you're
Amazing.
doing an awful lot of teaching. You really are, and so you're able to do both with
Yeah.
people that you serve, and yeah, you have a heart to serve and giving back, and so
Right.
being in a helping profession is definitely a calling. It's a commitment. So definitely
Yeah.
on that.
That's yeah, and that's funny that you said that too, because I remember I was in Okinawa and I was riding down the street, and God told me, "You're a teacher.
Mm,
You are a teacher." And so, me being 10, I always thought, "Oh, I want to be a school teacher." And I did do that for a while. I did that for the sake of my children, because I wanted to be, you know, in school while they were in school, out of school when they got out of school. So I decided to get into the teaching field a little bit. But God was like, "You're a teacher of the word of God.
uh,
That's where you are. You are a teacher of the word of God." So I just put on that hat, and, at the platform that I have, my podcast with the White Chair Talk, I just kind of do that. I try to say it's going to be, about anything or whatever, but I always bring it back to the Lord. I always bring it back, some encouraging word from the Lord on that platform. So yeah,
absolutely. And by the way,
teachers in there.
the talk is great. I
Thank
get a lot
you.
of that, so I just had
Thank you.
that there as well. So what does, in your opinion, what does life coaching mean personally?
So what it means to me personally, so personally, I would just say, as someone that someone else is always looking up to,
Mhm.
I don't get a lot of opportunity to kind of give, no one's usually asking me, or how should I say this? I always get an opportunity to say how I'm feeling about certain things, because somebody's always typically usually coming to me and wanting me to solve an issue, or what do you think about this, or for advice or something like that. So I never had the that so many friends where I could kind of do that. So I thought, what does it mean to me personally? I want to be that someone for someone like me. I want to be that person. Hey, I want to fulfill those needs of someone that's like me. That, if you're in a leadership position all the time, you're not allowed to kind of relax. People are usually always kind of leaning on you. So I want to be that person that fulfills that need for somebody else that's in my shoes. That maybe you're in a position where you can't really kind of vent to others, or say how you truly feel about something, or even receive coaching yourself, because someone's always coming to you for that advice. So I want to be that person that can kind of fulfill that on a more personal level, but just fulfill that for someone that's like me. Yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. Definitely someone that can relate to you and vice versa. In more ways than one. Is that kind of what you think about?
Well, yeah, someone that, like I say, maybe they're in a leadership position. They always say it's lonely at the top.
Ah, yes.
Sometimes it is lonely at the top, because no one wants to hear if they're calling you for advice, you don't, then you to turn around and say, well, now I need advice from you. It's kind of like, kind of hard to do that if people typically are always leaning on you. So at the top, you kind of feel like, huh, there's nobody kind of for me to go and ask questions or ask things. So it's fulfilling to know that I want to be that person that fills a slot for someone that's maybe a leadership position that can ask for some advice one to another, like you were saying.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
What what would you say? What core values guide your coaching practice?
Core values. I think this is important. No judgment zone.
Mm,
I think that is like people have a hard time coming to you if they think that they're going to be judged. There's nothing that's too hard. There's not something you can say to me that I'm going to say that's the stupid goal you have. I'm never going to say that. No judgment zone. Whatever you have, if we are all in this world together, and wherever you are in life, and you need goal setting skills for that, wherever you are in life, to there's no bad goal. So I would say my core values are doing things in excellence. I think that's so important to be professional, to be on time, to keep your word. And if you can't keep your word, um, then communicate. So doing things in excellence. Don't judge people. And just to know that my coaching business is also going to be based off of confidentiality. Some people I know all the time. I know the people, but I want them to know that that's something that's real strong to me, confidentiality. If I tell you something, if you tell me something, that it is here and that it is professional, it is done with excellence, and it's done with no judgment.
and I think that's very important because unfortunately, many people that go to someone, a life coach, a therapist, a psychologist, or what have you, they're reluctant to share their thoughts, their opinions, their issues because they're afraid of the kind of response or reactions they may get. And oftentimes, when they feel like they're being judged, they may shut down. They may
Yeah.
continue. And so it's vitally important that people like us create a space and atmosphere where they can say whatever they need to say without feeling that they're going to be somehow scrutinized or anything like that. Especially being vulnerable and have
Yes.
to share some very deep personal matters that they may not share with other people. So, that's so key.
Yes, that is so, so, so true. I think it's important. Because guess what? We've all been there.
Yes,
Nobody's perfect. We all been there, have those moments where you just like, what? Yes, we've been. So I just, you take that and like, hey, we're human, and I'm in no place to talk about anybody at all.
right. Yeah, and then also, like you said, doing things in excellence. Um, I, people expect consistency and being on time and things of that nature, and making sure that whatever that is shared stays between
Yes,
the two of you, and being able to practice that as well and be consistent all throughout your relationship. That only is going to empower that
yeah,
individual to keep working and keep sharing, and just ensure that, okay, I trust this individual
yes.
to coach me to bigger and better things over time. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's
indeed.
that's good. I want because I want that.
Yeah.
I want to be. I want when I go and I pay for something, you want it done in excellence.
Hmm.
You just so that's something you want to give back. That's how you want done. So because you don't you just it's just important to me because that's how I would like it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of people that may come to you for that support or that guidance, just curious, who is your ideal client and how do you help them as a life coach?
Okay, so my ideal client, that is so good. My ideal client is someone who is serious. And when I say serious, I mean, okay, because life is short, time is money. So if you're coming to me, you've already made the step to, okay, I want some goal setting. I want to, I'm having issues with this area. I want some reshaping of thinking in this. If you're already coming to me with that, then I want you to be motivated. I want you to be serious. Like, hey, we're going to do this because guess what? I'm all in. I'm all in for you. And I want the person that to be all in for themselves. So that's the ideal person. If you come and you don't do the goal, we make goals, we bring up, things that would be good, prioritize, and then you come back the next week and nothing is done.
Mhm.
Yeah, that means, that means you're not really serious about what you're saying. So the ideal person for me was somebody that comes in motivated, someone serious about what they're doing and serious about their personal growth. They want to grow from where they are today. And you know what? Let's move to this. And I'm excited to do that. So, and they're open-minded person. Cause I
Yeah,
might say something that's like, oh, okay, but it works. And I can only tell somebody something that I have experienced myself. So, that's my ideal person. Come motivated, serious about what we're doing, and ready to get this personal growth going.
absolutely. What I say sometimes is working with active participant and active client. So the client, like engaged, they're coming to sessions, they're responsive, they're doing the work. I've said to my clients
Ooh.
over time, if I'm working harder than you are, then something's wrong, you know.
Yes.
So, but at the end of the day, this is about you. Stated, I'm in that. I'm here. This is the work that I do, but I'm here for you. So you got to bring something to the table.
I love that. I didn't even mention that. I also mentor for the Big Brother, Big Sister program. I'm a mentor. I've been doing that for about 3.5 years. And it is so important to be responsive. If you're being the volunteer and you're trying to, connect with their child, you're putting all this work in, please respond.
Right.
Please respond to what we're saying. I know it's a little bit different, but mentoring, that's when you said responsive, I think that's key. That's so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, so what's one piece of advice you give to someone who feels stuck in life?
That is so good. If you feel stuck in life, I would say this: count the cost.
Mm,
What is it costing you to be in this cycle for 5 years, 10 years? What is it costing you? Count the cost and let's prioritize. Think about, and when I say count the cost, I'm not talking about money.
right.
I'm talking about time. Who has time to waste? I'm already 52 years old. Like, wow. When I was younger, I couldn't even 52. I thought that was old. But here I am today,
Right.
starting a new adventure, and who has time to waste? So I think counting the cost. What is it going to cost you to wait any longer? What is it costing you, to say, or maybe I would ask them to, where are you going to be in the next 3 years, next
Mm,
5 years? Where are you going to be? Count the cost. What is it going to take you? What are you going to lose? You're not getting any younger
mm,
and you don't know what life will bring. So let's do it today. Prioritize whatever you have to go through and let's do it today. That's what I would say.
yeah. Time moves on. Whether you're stuck in this rut or situation or not. And oftentimes when people are stuck, it's called stuck points. It's about, okay,
Mm,
not really getting the answer that you need in that
mhm.
situation or in that moment. Um, and that can trigger anxiety,
Yep.
depression, uncertainty, that sort of thing. And I think we all experience that from time to time where
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
like fork in the road, not knowing what to do, what to say, how to do it. And it's just you just one answer away, one situation away from
Yes.
moving forward. And that's when people like us come in, to coach, to guide, to sometimes what we need to do is allow that individual
Yeah.
to vent, And
Mm.
you said a very operative word, prioritize. What is important right here, right now? So
Yeah.
definitely spot on.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's really good because um I I know things happen. Things happen and life happens. I get it, but man, it's just I just don't the wasting time. I mean, I just think about where I am today. Had I not had I just brushed off the baby calling me Fasha.
Wow.
Had I just brushed that off, I mean, it literally brings tears to my eyes because I'm thinking, I'm here today. There's so many things that I'm doing based off of that young girl, that baby calling me that. We just laughed it off. But then God, He knows me. God knows me. So He said, oh, I'm going to give her this dream tonight. The dream, I saw black, I saw purple. Why would I see that? I had no idea what was purple. What was black? What is that? I just said, I got up, I immediately got my phone and typed it in, looked at it. Where would I be today if I just a dream?
Hmm.
If I just brushed it off. So I didn't wait. Here it is. Since then, it's only been a year, and we're launched a whole business, fashasupports.org.
How about that?
And it's and a whole business plan, even just not just the coaching, but a whole business plan behind it. I also have an AI consult certification as well. So I see big things
Yes.
for Fasha. Yeah. So I'm going to be studying generative AI and helping people coach with their business with that. But that's coming. But it's like you can't have a plan and it just be that plan for today. If you can't see the harvest, even with the small thing that you have, it's not going to go very many places. You have to see the harvest.
Hmm.
And so just a year ago, it seemed like just, oh, life coach. But no, it's so much more than that. So much more than that.
Love it. Love it. Love it. And lastly, what is a common myth about life coaching and how would you debunk it?
Oh, that's an easy one. Let me tell you, life coaches are not therapists. Life coaches are not therapists. We are not counselors. And I think maybe sometimes people, because I know some people, some therapists, as yourself, they don't. I heard you even use some language that I don't use, and I know that came from textbook. I know that came from the textbook. And so whereas I have my life experiences and some training, yes, but not in therapy. And so that's a whole different universe than life coaching. Life coaching is mainly based on goal setting and motivation and encouraging and prioritizing and starting from where you are and watching your personal growth. Let's get to your personal growth. Well, I think as a therapist is more talking about behavior and your past experiences, and let's change something that happened in your childhood, something that, I mean, that while we're experiencing this behavior today, let's research and find out why that's happening. That's more of, I feel like, the therapy counseling arena, where I do not, as a life coach, do not do that. We focus on here and now today, and where can we get your personal, wherever you are today, let's strategize together and goal set and mind change for where you want to go in the future. So you can elaborate on that. I mean, you are that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so
We definitely study behavior and how certain sometimes thoughts can definitely trigger certain behaviors and really getting people to not suppress those thoughts and feelings because what we don't want is for those thoughts to manifest in
mm,
negative ways. Um, Unfortunately, sometimes there are certain diagnoses that we try to treat, whether it be schizophrenia, bipolar, that definitely requires a lot of psychotherapy, a lot of even some in some cases psychotropic medications with psychiatrists to kind of help with
wow.
some of those symptoms as well. Um, so yeah, we definitely go a little deeper for sure. Um, but I appreciate you making that difference because as you did in your introduction, um, you indicated that you bring a deep understanding of resilience, adaptability, and service. And so, being a military wife for 30 years, you saw a
Yeah.
lot of changes. And
Moved a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And you
Yeah.
have to overcome a lot
Yeah.
of well, and so you're able to bring a lot of that to the table for the people that you're going to be coaching, and you have receipts as well that that you can.
Absolutely. Yes.
So, but
Yeah.
that's very important, and that brings a lot of credibility to what you're doing right now. That you bring a lot of life experience,
Yeah.
uh, and that's vitally important.
Yeah, and I mean, I've known it's so funny that you said that. I've known a few therapists, clinical therapists that now say, "Hey, I want a life coach." Uh, and I like I said, and I so that's another difference. Like there's not a whole lot of regulation on life coaching, which is probably why it's so freeing.
Mhm.
And definitely stay in the vein of your scope of work. For a therapist, I would think it would be, like I said, you have to have the licensure from the state that you're in, and there's regulations on that. Each state you get in, it's just there's so many things on it, and definitely I don't have to diagnose. So you have definitely my hat goes off to you to do those things and to see those. Because trust me, if I get some of those people, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna recommend that speak with, there's a service I will not be able to provide,
Right.
because I diagnose or say anything like that. But sometimes you kinda know, you can discern certain things, but so I can't practice in that, but I can shift to you to, you know, someone else that can. So, yeah, yeah, that's more appropriate for what's happening
Exactly.
or what I'm witnessing from you. But have you noticed that there are some, life coaches or I'm sorry, some therapists that switch to life coaching? Have you ever heard of that?
I have actually. When because sometimes it can be a little daunting to deal with symptom management
Yeah.
and behavior sometimes, where yeah, I think you said it perfectly earlier that life coaching is more free.
Yeah.
We kind of talk about just what is most important for the individual right here and right now, whether it be about their careers, their the children, spouse, um, and like I said earlier, as it relates to a big decision that they need to make in their life,
Right.
what kind of guidance is needed in that moment? And I know of one therapist that actually does life coaching on the side. So
Hmm.
yeah, and you're able to be a little bit more autonomous being a life
Yeah.
coach with a therapist.
And I can say too that, there's a lot of credentials and credibility that would come with someone who is a licensed um, professional counselor. I can see that and why someone would want easily, or I would say more easily, go to them rather than a life coach if you were dealing with something that's deeper. But like you said earlier, yes, I do have that credibility just in my own life. I mean, I'm not a licensed counselor. However, I do have the training and I do have the life experience,
Mhm.
definitely life experience in just living and the experiences that I've had, the unique experience, like I said, with the military and traveling and having to change jobs a lot, different personalities, to my children in school, just dealing with a lot, managing a lot.
Yes.
So I've got something to say and I've got something to tell and I've got something to share and I got something that I know works. So yeah,
Eh, oh, I love it. I love
yeah,
it. Well, Alicia, I'm excited. Let me congratulate you for getting to this point. Looking forward to seeing, you know, what happens and how this is going to grow as you work towards helping people transform their lives. And yeah, I just
yeah,
let me thank you for this opportunity to just have a conversation with you and ask you some questions. Um,
yes.
launch this, and Do you have any final words or final thoughts that you want to give to the people?
You were reading my mind. You're such a professional. You're
Great.
so good. Yeah, so I was gonna say, so you can now reach me through my website, fashasupports.org, and see all the different coaching classes I offer. Coaching sessions, I offer group sessions, mindset coaching, relationship coaching, individual coaching. I have a course called Command the Room, where it teaches people that have trouble public speaking.
Mhm.
It gets them comfortable in public speaking. Maybe introverts will probably be best for that.
Yeah.
That they're going to sit back all the time because they're just not going to do it. I remember I was at a conference, a women's conference this earlier this summer, and it was like I had to challenge myself. I put myself out there and I said, they had something, hey, if you met someone, if you introduce yourself to someone, bring that person, come up on stage and introduce yourself in front of thousands of women, right? And the lady that I was like, oh yes, that's great. Let's come up. She was like, oh no. Now we were the best of friends until I said, hey, come up, because you couldn't win the prize unless you brought the person that the people that you met up on the stage in front of everybody. And I said, come on, let's go. She said, oh no, I don't do that. I don't. And she's 70 years old.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh, you're with a great opportunity we're missing. We came to this conference, we flew to Atlanta, like, let's just have a good time. And she wouldn't do it.
Mm.
So I missed the opportunity because, obviously we had to come together. So that's why I said, you know what, command the room. We're going to get people out there that's, those introverts that don't want to be out in the front because they're missing out on things by closing in, shutting up, not saying it. Even promotional wise, getting promoted. Sometimes you got to see if you're not that person that can, if you want that leadership position,
Right.
sometimes it's gonna be difficult for the introvert. So yeah, so I've got a lot of things brewing and coming up. So go to my page, fashasupports.org, and check out all the new and wonderful things that I've got going on and launching this month. So yay.
Hey, all right. Well, again, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Forward to, seeing some big things happen.
I'm excited.
Asha supports.
Fasha supports.
There you
Yeah.
go.
A whole organization.
Go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks everybody.
All
That's all.
right. All right. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. And you have a good night until I see you next time. Bye.